Afternoon. Wanted to do a video on an optic I just recently purchased, which is the aimpoint comp M4 or M4 comp, one of the two. But I know it by a few names, the m68 or the CCO, which stands for close quarter optic. This is a standard red dot sight, which I've got it mounted here up on my M4. Standard red dot sight. Sits on a Picatinny rail, which they make adapters for different height, which I think, yeah, you can tell this one's been, looks like it's almost like a press on. But anyway, you can get it for different heights, which I bought this off a friend of mine, so I'm not complaining about it for as cheap as I got it. These things, these aim points, brand new, these Comp M4s they'll run you about $1,000. I got it for not even half that price. Anyway, sits on one lug, unlike most sites, where it's multiple. But this isn't a quick release, but it is easy to use. So, with these, you cannot over tighten it. When you go, if you move it it'll tighten as much as it can, and then it'll snap back or it'll snap forward. So, but in order to take it off, just unscrew it. Make sure you get enough to pop it off. Set that aside. And then get down to this. This does not have any kind of zoom in it. This is strictly a close quarter optic, even though you can shoot to 300 yards with it, because I've done it. Had to qualify with it. We did a 300 yard. We did our standard 25 meter zero, and then we would shoot out to 300 meters with it. But these have multiple settings on them. It's, from what I've heard, like the first 6 or 7 are all for night vision, so you can't really see it when you see it there. But like right there, you can't see it. It's just either so dim or it actually goes infrared. But I'm trying to get it to where the camera will focus a little bit. But very simple. It's totally all the way off, and it's just like anything else. The more you turn it, the brighter it gets. And that's the max setting. I don't know of anybody that'll even use that, because it's actually so bright it glares out the glass. You can't see nothing. But just, about right there, that's actually really good for shooting, whether it be daytime, nighttime, doesn't matter. But yeah, it's made by Aimpoint itself. And let me see here. Made in Sweden, and then you got the Comp M4. Alright, this is the same model that the government uses. Very rugged, very durable. Just don't leave that on if you're not using it, because I don't know. I've seen them where the batteries drain pretty quick, and I've seen it where they don't so much, but I guess it also depends on what your setting is. This cap right here, you take that off, one AA battery. That's all it takes. Screw that back on. It has an O-ring in there, so it makes it watertight. This right here is your windage. Up here's your elevation. And, that's really all there is to it. Now, if you have a weapon like mine, where you still have the front sight post mounted up, when you put this on, you will see it. That's not good. So, but all mounted up, and then I'm going to see about, just kind of get it to where I can see down it. There we go, finally. Usually I give it a few clicks to make sure it's nice and tight and it ain't going nowhere. But let me see if I can get this set to where you can see down it, and I'll get a pretty decent idea of what the view's like with these. And there you have it. That's what it looks like looking down into one of these. Now, the way I used to do it was a standard Battlefield 0 on these, is to take that red dot, which the way my camera is, the way my phone's sitting, I can't get it there. But you center it up, and you'll take take the actual red dot and line it up. Sorry about that. Sitting here trying to get this thing to hold steady on itself. But to do a standard Battlefield 0 with this is take it and move the dot onto the front sight post. Now, I don't know if I'll be able to do it, is with your rear sight. Let me try. If you can line it up with it, as you can see, well, I had it just a second ago. Yeah, if you line it up, you'll see, even though it is blurry, somewhat, you can get a general idea that, yeah, it's sitting right there on the top of it. Which I can't get it to focus, so yeah, couldn't get it to focus, but it gives you a pretty good idea. That's the way I've done it, and if whatever adjustments you need to make to it, you can make right there on the spot. But I feel, if I remember, that's how I used to do it when I was active. It's been so long now, I can't even remember. But I remember something along those lines. You may have to make some adjustments, but that's okay. Or if it's not working out, drop your rear sight if you have one, and just use the CCO. And I do believe, if I remember correctly, your sight picture doesn't have to be perfect out to, I think it's anything after 50 meters, I believe. Don't quote me on this. If I were you, I'd do your homework. But I think it's 50 meters out past 50 meters. You don't have to be centered up with your sight. As long as the dot is on the target, it's going to hit. Anything inside that, it really doesn't even matter because the target's so close, it really shouldn't even matter. But if you have any questions, feel free to ask, and I'll do what I can to answer them.